Hope you all had a good weekend. Okay, it's mid-month. Boy, August has flown by, and I'm sure a lot has happened. Okay, let me get started. Okay, let me get started. Morning, Julia. I want to share my screen. Okay, so today I want to talk about mindsets that will motivate us to press on to achieve milestones of success and miracles. Okay. Now, we all want long-term success and a long-term business, but that means a long journey. Okay. And a long journey is a challenging journey for various reasons. But challenges are a necessary fact of life. Okay. If the road is straight, it's boring and it's deadly. You know, when you travel overseas, you drive long distances or straight roads, it's deadly because you fall asleep. But if it's curving, then you've got to stay awake. They've been talking about the WellSpa IO. Why does the WellSpa IO work? Because the current is pulsating. It's changing all the time. That's why it works. If you enjoy golf, you can't just want dry weather. Okay. Maybe we do stand-up paddling and we know the golfers have to stop their golf because of Cat 1 lightning. Okay. But you can't just want dry weather, because if the weather was dry all year round, the grass would die. The trees would die. You couldn't play golf, and golf won't be fun if it's a concrete jungle. If your ECG, your electrocardiogram is flat, that's the end of life. If you want not just years in your life, but life in your years, you need to have a vigorous ECG. You know, my healthy 365 Fitbit, it measures the amount of vigorous activity based on my heart rate. Okay. So, first of all, we need to accept that this is the reality of life. Okay. The ups and downs is the reality of life, as Jim Rohn explains. And I'd like you to hear what Jim Rohn has to say.
In this contest, right? Good, evil, liberty, tyranny, right? Health, illness, winning and losing, right? There's the struggle going on. But here's the key. It's the only way, it seems, it's the only way to create a human adventure. But here's what it creates: a great adventure. Let me give you the ultimate now. Could you win if you couldn't lose? And the answer is no, it doesn't seem like it. You couldn't call it winning. You can't win if you couldn't lose. So that's the deal now. Negative, positive. Would there be negative, positive without negative? No, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like this is the current setup, you know, for the foreseeable future. It looks like it's been that way as long as we can remember and as long as the history tells us. So here's what you want to do if you want the adventure. You must learn to play this game, to work with all the positive forces to defeat the negative forces as early and as soon and as much as possible, to contain the ravages of disease that want to take you early. You got to fight back. You can't just leave it. Somebody says, well, I got my fingers crossed. Not a good philosophy. You got to take your vitamins. You got to do the stuff. You got to do the deal. Jump on the positive side of whatever you want and see if you can't help out in this warfare and this push-shove match. That's the key. So in the summer, here's what you must do. Nourish the plants and the garden. Nourish your values like a mother. Give life. Whatever you start now, you must nourish it and give it life.
So Jim Rohn talks about the reality of life, that there are ups and downs. Okay, there's rain, there's dry periods, there's night, there's day. But change, you know, challenge, crises, these are uncomfortable and cause us to take it easy, seek comfort, or simply quit the struggle. So how do you keep going? Okay, by keeping growing. How you keep going? By keeping growing. Let's look at the New Skin mission and ask ourselves, How do you be a force for good? How do you empower people to improve lives? How do you build a rewarding business opportunity? How do you create an enriching culture? All these good things simply by being the best you. Jim Rohn also said his famous words, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenge, wish for more wisdom. But it's not going to happen overnight. So how do you keep going? Okay, so let's look at two families, okay, folks that we know. And both these families have been involved with Nu Skin, for 20 years, each of them, at least 20 years, starting when their children were very young. So let's look at Hock Seng first. Okay, so this was Hock Seng and his girls, his three young girls in 2001. And look at them now, 22 years later, all grown up adults, working, and even one of them has reproduced to the third generation. Okay. Let's look at Alfred and Joanne. Okay. So this was their family in 2006. They came into the Nu Skin business about 3 years before. Look at the lovely kids, and look at them now, adults, grown up. This was just taken last week. So, he's got a fantastic relationship with Joanne, and that was Brendan standing up there just sharing, so proud of this young adult, confident, all the future ahead of them. Now, these are ordinary folk who must have gone through countless challenges. Okay. Disappointments, unexpected problems, conflicts, arguments with their spouses, with their children, with their parents, with their in-laws, relatives, friends, colleagues, business partners, problems with their uplines, downlines, sidelines, strangers, etc. They've been through all these things. Okay. Their journey cannot have been an easy downhill journey, but at times, like climbing a steep mountain at altitude, short of oxygen, short of energy. The summit, and remember, the summit is not even the end. The summit is halfway. You got to come down. Okay, but the summit is nowhere in sight. Just one step, take 3 breaths. Next step, take more breaths. That's been the journey. But when you look at this, do you think they're happy where they are? Of course. Do you think they want more? Of course. Okay, of course they want more. So, they must have applied some mindsets that motivate them to take the next step, so that one day passes and the day become weeks, and the weeks become months, and the months become years. And now they look back, 20 years have passed, and they see so many of these milestones that they can celebrate, and so many miracles. So I've picked up a few quotes that I myself want to memorize, so that I can pull out as what I call a motivational mindset, a mindset that motivates me when I feel tired, when I feel it's hopeless, when I feel it's impossible, when I feel a useless failure, and I do feel that, okay, when I feel unloved and unappreciated. But mostly when I'm just have a bad moment, a bad day, okay. So I want to share some of these with you, and I hope they're useful to you, because they're really useful to me. So the first fear is of not getting it right. We do something, don't know whether it's right or wrong. Am I going to lead people down the wrong path? Is it going to be a waste of energy? And this is useful to me. Okay? Albert Einstein said, a person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. So if you want to try something new, you just got to prepare to make mistakes. because you've got to be trying new things. Okay. Socrates, as Dylan said, always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. Okay. Always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. And that is about possibilities. If you don't try something, you know nothing will happen. You try something, there's a possibility of something, but believe that something wonderful is about to happen, because we see the cup as half full. Okay. Then when I feel tired or discouraged, and I just don't feel like doing my routine, I've got my set things to do, but I don't feel like doing it. Okay. I tell myself, I'm not a product of my circumstances. I'm a product of my decisions. Okay. So I don't want to be ruled by circumstances. I want to be ruled by my decisions. Another one that's helpful to me is, again, Jim Rohn, either you run the day or the day runs you. So you decide, okay, you want to let the day run you, your feelings run you, or you run the day, take charge. Okay. Charles Dickens said the sun himself is weak when he first rises and gathers strength and courage as the day goes on. So when I don't feel like doing something, I just have the trick. I just start the first thing. I don't think about completing it. I just start the first thing, and somehow the first thing carries on to the next thing. So it's like the sun getting stronger and stronger and gathers strength. And I find that, wow, it's a victory. I've finally finished all these things just by starting. Okay. And this one, success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. Okay, that's the slight edge philosophy. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. That muscle wasn't built overnight. It was built slowly, and sometimes you don't see the results, but you have to be doing it. So I just got to go through it. Okay, don't feel discouraged. Then the promise of persistence and practice. Okay, if I practice and I persist, what is the promise? Zig Ziglar said, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Such common sense, isn't it? Okay, so just start and I will be great. That's the principle of mastery. Eleanor Roosevelt said, with the new day comes new strength and new thoughts. With the new day comes new strength and new thoughts. And that's really, really true. Okay. In the future, we don't know what is the future. We're just thinking how we feel now, but no, that there will be new strength and new thoughts that come. And that's really, really exciting. Margaret Thatcher said, you may have to fight a battle more than once to win it. Okay, so, life is like that. You don't just, win the thing by luck. It's just very simple. If you cut your grass, next month you have to cut it again. It keeps growing, okay? So you may have to fight a battle more than once to win it. Then finally, a few quotes that help me be tough on myself, so that I develop and I callous my mind, so that I can just do it when I don't feel like doing it. And of course, it's David Goggins' case. If you are not physically and mentally prepared for what life is going to throw at you, then you're just going to crumble, and then you're no good to nobody. If you're not physically and mentally prepared for what life is going to throw at you, then you're just going to crumble, and then you're no good to nobody. So if you want to be good, you want to be a force for good, you want to do all these things, you've got to be so tough that you don't crumble when things don't go your way. I don't stop when I'm tired. I stop when I'm done. Oh, that's a really, really good reminder. Am I done? I'm not done. Am I tired? Yeah, I expect to be tired if I'm pushing hard, but I don't stop when I'm tired. I stop when I'm done. And this last quote, people take classes on self-help, mental toughness, breathing control. The only way to get tougher is to put yourself in hellacious situations. The only way to get tougher is to put yourself in hellacious situations. So if you're in a bad situation, you've got an argument, you've got a conflict, you resist talking to your upline, you resist talking to, go and talk, because you want to put yourself in these hellacious situations so you get tougher. So these are some thoughts that have been helpful to me. And I want to thank you. Okay, I want to thank you for these you, I mean all those people who gave me these quotes. Okay, because this was me yesterday at 1 p.m. Okay, I'm supposed to be climbing Bukit Timah Hill, but HT wasn't going to be there. Some other climbers going to be there, and I didn't want to drive all the way to go and climb alone. So I decided to go to Ang Mo Kio Block 455, 1 o'clock in the hot sun. Okay, and this was me after 5 sets of 34 stories carrying a 5-kilogram bag. Okay. Did I feel like doing it? Did I feel like doing it alone? Was there anyone there to push me? No, it was just my decision. Okay, and so it was this kind of mindset that helps me go out and do these kind of things. You know, and we need to be doing this more and more of this for the rest of our lives. Okay, so thank you. I hope you found this useful. And if you want the quotes, I can send you the quotes. Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, so it's mid-month already. Go and finish this August. Make it an awesome August. Bye-bye.